So thanks very much to the Heavy Chef team, and thank you to Fred. Really awesome to be given the opportunity to come and share some of, I suppose, the stories. And in the run-up to this, caught up with Fred, and we hadn't seen each other in a while. And as he mentioned, we've come from very similar journeys to end up in very different places to where we started. And I said, well, what do you want me to say? You know the journey a bit. And he said, tell the story and share some lessons. I thought, okay, I'll do that. And sat down. I thought, gee, what have I learned? I'm not too sure. And probably, it echoes some of the things that Aisha said. Well, what I learned is it's really tough. Integrating technology into education is a difficult and challenging exercise everywhere. In Europe and the States, they haven't got it right necessarily. And doing it in Africa, I think, comes with a whole nother set of challenges. And some of the things we found out really quickly. If we want to go and build a platform business, we're dealing with some of the challenges, shared devices. We go into environments where it's not schools that have got one-to-one. Devices is a natural barrier into that market. We've got limited or no connectivity, and for many platforms, connectivity that is a necessity if you really want to start out. The starting point for us was digital content. A lot of the markets we were going into, there was local content in print, but there was no digital content. We needed to help produce products to be able to actually go and sell them. And then we're certainly in this transition where things are a bit messy. We've got old and the new. So we've got print and digital mixed. We've got Windows machines in a computer lab running probably something like Windows 7, a few new donated iPads, and a few Android 4.2 devices. So a very big mix. And all of that really leads to a massively fragmented market where we're talking about fragmented in geography, opportunity, maturity, and how do you go about building a platform that actually services all of those needs and gives you the scale that you need. So this is kind of where we ended up. And we've got a number of applications, portals that comprise the Snapplify suite of tools. So a quick run through to, I suppose, provide you some context. The starting point for us was providing digital textbooks. Still, the book is the starting point for most learning on the continent. We also provide supplementary material, audio, video, interactive applications, library books, but that's soon built out to offer other educational services, tutoring. We started moving into educational hardware. Off the back of that, we collected a lot of data, and through insights, we've been offering that data to improve teaching, learning, but also the management of educational budgets. And we also produced an education appliance called the Snapbox that helps optimize bandwidth usage. So that's the platform, I suppose, in a nutshell, that we took to market and sold in these three tiers. So where we've got to so far, we're just sort of about 5,000 institutions. We've got 280,000 products and services that are available in the marketplace with 150 different partners, and those partners are all over the world. We've a large component of what we do as an edtech business is actually financial services, managing the money and supply chain for those partners. And we have about 2 million activities from our users on the platform every day. So I suppose after doing all that, what stands out after the 7 years, looking back? And it was actually really tough for me to decide what I thought were these pivotal moments. And I framed it to myself was saying, what did we do that I wish we had done right in the beginning, and could skip over? And the real first turning point for us was being able to release a freemium version. Still, majority of our competitors in the market do not have a freemium version. And obviously, that's kind of the model that everyone wants. You build the SaaS product, you pump some ads to it, people register, and you convert them, and off you go. And that's really, really easy. It really was incredibly tough for us. We found in the edtech space, it was very difficult to market online to reach the people. You're trying to reach teachers. They're not plugged in the same way, neither are principals. Principals don't see an ad that thinks, oh, I'll go and get that for my school. The conversions were very low. And then our technical execution had to be really, really solid to enable self-service for a school. The user experience, I mean, most of the schools, when they're registered with us, we will be the first platform that they are self-serving and registering with. Some of them may have, Google or Office 365, but majority won't even have, email addresses. So it's really, really tough to make that easy. But it made a huge difference. Organically, we get between 10 and 15 schools register a day. And what that allowed us to do was really to dip our toe into pretty much most of the countries in Africa. So we operate to some degree in about 14 countries. And if we look at the key markets there, that's giving you an idea of the number of institutions that are our addressable market in those countries. So how do we reach all of those? We're not going to go door to door. And what the freemium opportunity allowed us to do was identify where there was opportunities, where things weren't working. People would say to us, we like the platform, but you don't have this product. And we would know, how do we go and get it? Or they want to buy it, but we don't have M-Pesa. We need to go and roll out new payment currencies and payment methods in order to really scale out in those regions. Number two was, some things aren't scalable and it's okay. So I think, particularly I come from a tech background, you want to automate everything. And you want to, anything that doesn't scale is ultimately going to be an anchor in your business. And I think for the most part that's true, but I think all good rules have exceptions, and it's important to accept that and maybe spot some of those. So I think there's this saying, something along the lines of, sometimes opportunity is disguised as hard work. I think it's also true to say sometimes opportunity is disguised as things that don't scale. So for us as a platform, obviously the majority of the content and the most efficient way for us to service our customers is online with connectivity. But if you want to offer a solution that is broad, particularly let's say for a government, and that solution needs to operate in those areas where there aren't connectivity, and you want to offer an inclusive solution, you must provide a solution for users that are completely offline. So we ended up developing process and technology to be able to sideload and distribute content offline, which was never our intention, and something we found sort of, I suppose, less sexy to begin with, but ultimately became a massive competitive advantage for us. Platforms need people. And again, I suppose it talks to my technology background of, you want to build things and automate, and that dream of you get to sleep and everything just runs. It's really easy. But ultimately, all these platforms are built by people. And we need to invest more energy, I think, in how we look at the businesses from a people point of view and how we build that out. And I think for some people, it comes naturally. But in my experience, the people that are building platforms have a deep tech focus and maybe need to look a little bit more at the people side. And what we've learned along the journey, the kind of people that integrate well for us are the people that have these same shared values. One is around mastery. So we tend to hire technical people that are builders and want to build the best software and the best platform that they can. And we look for salespeople that want to be the best salespeople that they can, build the best sales funnel that they can. And that common shared value has served us really well. And then again, back to that whole thing of building. If you spend your time building something and you have a sense of fulfillment in it, that in itself is really rewarding and helps to motivate and have, I suppose, a shared common vision across people that are in different verticals within the business. So we try, and it's really difficult, I think we have a tech bias, is how do we try anyway, to spend as much energy on the people as we do the technology. I mean, we've got all these methodologies that look at how we're going to scale our architecture. We're looking at Scrum, how do we develop our ability to scale? But often what has caught us by surprise is where we haven't invested enough in the people. 2 years ago, we expanded into Kenya. We set up a team there. But these guys, they were resourced more or less in the same way as the Cape Town office. Much of the same processes, but they didn't have the same organic conversations in the corridors. There wasn't all the light, soft touches. And we really struggled to get that off the ground until we put in place, senior people had to travel and spend time with the Kenyan guys on site. And that really made all the difference. Those are the lessons. I hope they help someone. And thanks, guys.